let's be real for a second. Something's seriously off about this whole Quincy and Diddy situation, and you know who's not keeping quiet anymore? Kimora Lee Simmons. Word on the street is she's had it up to here with Quincy Brown defending Diddy like he owes that man his whole life. And considering the history, especially with Kim Porter, Quincy's real mom and Kimora's close friend, yeah, things are getting messy. Like too messy for silence? First off, Kimora and Kim Porter weren't just celebrity acquaintances. They were legit best friends, like ride or die, raise each other's kids, share secrets kind of friends. So when Kim passed away under what a lot of folks still think were shady circumstances, Kimora took that personally. She basically became a second mother to Kim's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah. That's why it hit so hard to see Quincy, Kim's oldest son, standing by Diddy, especially now that all these disturbing allegations are pouring out. Like, how are you gonna defend the man who allegedly mistreated your mother and now might even be tied to something darker? Let's talk about that loyalty Quincy has for Diddy, because it's almost uncomfortable. Fans started raising eyebrows when he showed up at every single court date like it was a family barbecue, smiling, walking alongside Christian, acting like this trial was some minor hiccup instead of the biggest storm of Diddy's life. Meanwhile, Diddy's being accused of everything from abuse to full-on criminal activity. So why is Quincy still standing 10 toes down? Especially when, let's be honest, Diddy's not even his biological dad. His real father is Al B. Sure, and Quincy barely mentions the man anymore. Now, here's where it gets even stickier. Quincy once wrote an open letter, basically disowning Al B, sure, and saying Diddy was the only father he's ever known. And sure, that might have been touching years ago, but now it reads like he's fully drank the bad boy Kool-Aid. Kimora isn't just annoyed, she's furious, because this loyalty is starting to look like betrayal, not just to her, but to Kim Porter's memory. Imagine your best friend dies, and her own son defends the man you believe had something to do with it. That's a level of heartbreak that hits deep. But it's not just about Quincy showing up to court. What really sent fans, and apparently Kimora, over the edge was that public statement released by Diddy's kids, trying to shut down rumors about Kim Porter's death. The whole thing felt too polished, too PR trained, and it flat out denied any foul play. People weren't buying it, and insiders claim it was Quincy who spearheaded that whole statement, convincing the other kids to co-sign. If that's true, then yeah, you can see why Kimora's trust in Quincy would shatter instantly. Kimora's silence was loud for a while, but then she started speaking without saying much, posting cryptic quotes, heart emojis under Kim's throwbacks, and subtle shade during Cassie's case. But when she posted that girl gang message, and then her house randomly caught on fire not long after, yeah, fans started connecting dots real fast. And the unspoken name behind the smoke was, of course, Diddy. Because let's not forget, this is the same man who allegedly blew up Kid Cudi's car. A house fire feels just on brand. Yet, even through all this, Kimora's remained a mother figure to the twins. When they went to prom last year, she was all smiles, proud as ever, posting sweet messages like everything was fine. But if you look closer, there's a clear divide. The support she gives the twins, Quincy doesn't get that. And that's not by accident. The rumor is she tried reaching out to him, tried to get him to see the truth, but he wasn't trying to hear it. Quincy's loyalty isn't just confusing, it's starting to look downright suspicious. People are saying he's so deep in Diddy's pocket he can't even see straight anymore. Like, how do you ignore the mountain of accusations, court cases, and horror stories piling up against a man your own mother had to walk away from? Kim Porter didn't just break up with Diddy, she left for a reason. And Quincy, of all people, should know exactly what that reason was. He was 16 when the final split happened, old enough to remember everything. What fans can't wrap their heads around is how he went from being Kim's baby boy to Diddy's #1 defender. And not just casually defending him, but full-on ride-or-die behavior, like showing up at every trial date, standing with the rest of Diddy's sons like it's a team sport. A lot of people are saying it's not about love, it's about legacy. That billion-dollar empire, the mansions, the fame, the lifestyle. Quincy's smart enough to know where the money is, and some folks believe he's clinging to Diddy because he thinks that inheritance is secured. But what does that say about his relationship with Kim, or with Al B? Sure, his biological father who's been practically begging to reconnect. Al B even wrote that heartbreaking message online saying, "Come home, the door is wide open. You're safe here, son." He's been waving that olive branch for years, but Quincy hasn't budged. And it's not like Albie has a bad relationship with the rest of the family. It's just Quincy that's gone radio silent. There's also a darker rumor floating around that Quincy wasn't just passively allowing Diddy to control the narrative about Kim Porter, but was actively helping him cover things up. Allegedly, he was the one behind that public statement denying all the rumors about Kim's death. The statement went hard on shutting down speculation, calling it hurtful, false, and disrespectful. But the timing and tone felt off to a lot of people, like it was written more for Diddy's protection than Kim's legacy. And if Quincy really did draft that message and push the other kids to sign it, that's not just disappointing, that's betrayal. Kimora Lee, on the other hand, has never wavered. She saw everything up close. The late night calls from Kim, the tears, the bruises, the drama. Kimora knows what really went down behind closed doors, and she's never been shy about her disgust for Diddy. She once revealed that he even tried to put hands on her while she was pregnant. Let that sink in. And yet here Quincy is, calling that same man a role model, as a slap in the face to everyone who loved Kim. And Kimora's not hiding her disappointment anymore. When Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy made headlines, Kimora didn't even have to name names. She just posted, "As you sow, so shall you reap," and everyone knew exactly who she meant. Then she posted an old photo of Kim with heart emojis. It was her way of saying, "I haven't forgotten, ever come to light on earth, and I won't let you rewrite history." But what really makes all of this so painful is the silence between Kimora and Quincy. They used to be close. Kimora was like an aunt, but now it's like there's this invisible wall between them. And it's not made of distance, it's made of choices. Choices Quincy made, choices that Kimora can't ignore. Diddy's influence runs deep, and Quincy might just be one of the most high-profile examples of how that power twists people's sense of loyalty. To outsiders, it might look like he's just a loving son figure staying loyal to a man who raised him, but for those paying attention, it's more like watching someone throw away everything their mother stood for to protect the legacy of the man who allegedly tore her down. It's not just confusing, it's sad. When Kim Porter died, the grief hit hard. But the questions hit harder. Too many people close to her couldn't make peace with the official story. Her death was ruled pneumonia, but something about it didn't sit right. She was healthy, vibrant, and surrounded by people who would have moved mountains for her. The whispers began almost immediately, and those whispers turned into roars when details started leaking about Diddy's behavior, his control, and the way people close to him kept going silent. Kimora was never one of those people. Her social media became a quiet battleground. Nothing loud or direct, but every post said something. From cryptic quotes to emotional tributes, she was speaking loud enough for those who understood. And when her house caught fire, not long after she started speaking up more, fans didn't see it as a coincidence. They saw it as a warning. Still, she never backed down, and she never turned her back on the people Kim left behind. At least, the ones she believed still honored her memory. The twins, protected and loved like they were her own. Christian, she still shows up for him too. But Quincy, that bond is broken. Maybe not permanently, but definitely for now. Because Kimora's not the type to pretend. She's not going to smile in your face if she believes you've sold out your own mother. And really, that's what people feel Quincy's done. They say he's chosen comfort over truth, money over memory, image over integrity. It's not just that he's standing by Diddy, it's that he's doing it so publicly, so proudly, while pretending like there's no reason to question any of it. That kind of loyalty in the face of everything that's come out doesn't just make people uncomfortable, it makes them question everything. There's even talk that Quincy's trying to rewrite the narrative from the inside. Some claim he's working behind the scenes to clean up Diddy's image, trying to position him as a misunderstood genius rather than a man facing accusations from every direction. Whether that's true or not, the optics aren't good. Every time Quincy shows up at court or posts a tribute to Diddy, the comment sections erupt. These people are angry, confused, heartbroken, because it's not just a celebrity saga. It's a son erasing his mother's pain. Meanwhile, Al B. Sure is still waiting, still posting, still hoping his son will come back to him. It's tragic, really. A father desperate to reconnect, a friend mourning the silence, and a community watching someone drift further away from the truth to protect a man who might not be worth If there's any hope in all this, it's that truth has a way of rising. Kim Porter's memory is stronger than any PR campaign, and people like Kimora Lee, who refuse to stay silent, are the reason that memory stays alive. Whether Quincy ever decides to face that truth is up to him, but until then, he's on the wrong side of history, and no inheritance, no courtroom appearance, no heartfelt statement will ever fix that.